Israel rejected President Trump's plan for Gaza. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Monday, August 10th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. President Trump has been touting a U.S.-backed plan formulated by his Board of Peace for the future of the Gaza Strip. Hamas agreed to the plan, which requires the group to lay down its weapons in exchange for Israel withdrawing from the territory. At the end of last month, Trump called the plan a monumental step toward lasting peace and security. But yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel did not accept the agreement. That rejection is the latest apparent setback for Trump's efforts to end Middle East conflicts. His efforts to end the Iran war have also stalled. This weekend, Iranian officials said any deal would not reopen the Strait of Hormuz unless the U.S. met a list of demands. Their terms are steep. They include withdrawing U.S. forces from the region, paying war damages, and lifting sanctions. The demands cast further doubt on the prospect of ending a war that has driven up global oil prices and dragged down the president's approval ratings. Todd Blanche is set to face immediate challenges as the new Attorney General. That's number 2. Over the weekend, the Senate narrowly voted to confirm Trump's former personal lawyer to lead the Justice Department.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 49. The nomination is confirmed.
The vote succeeded despite rare pushback from Republicans that had left Blanche's nomination in doubt. Senator Bill Cassidy, a Louisiana Republican, provided the crucial vote for Blanche. 2 other Republicans, Senators Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine, sided with Democrats against Blanche. Blanche's bruising confirmation battle is now behind him, but the hardest part is still to come. He will have to walk a tightrope between satisfying Trump and fulfilling an attorney general's obligations to the rule of law. Blanche has repeatedly defended what he considers Trump's right to intervene in Justice Department business, and that is a major departure from long-standing norms. Number 3. Surprise nominees and candidate scandals are scrambling the battle for Congress. We've reached the final stretch of primary season ahead of the midterm elections in November. Voters have presented both parties a number of surprises along the way. In Michigan, the triumph of progressive candidate Abdul El-Sayed may have complicated Democrats' chances at winning back the Senate. Polls show him faring worse against former Republican Representative Mike Rogers than his primary rival. Meanwhile, Republicans suffered setbacks as a Trump-endorsed House candidate in Michigan lost to a rival who had suspended his campaign, and misconduct allegations drove a North Carolina incumbent from the race. Republicans are eager to face several Democrats they believe are too far left for their districts, while Democrats see new openings where GOP candidates have suffered from controversies. Control of Congress next year could come down to just a handful of seats. For Trump, the stakes are high. The next Congress will decide the fate of his policy agenda for the rest of his term and could even pursue a 3rd impeachment. But Trump has taken a hands-off approach to the midterms. That's frustrating some Republicans who want him to help mobilize his supporters. Number 4. Experts warn that U.S. water systems are ripe for cyber attacks. Late last month, a water utility in the western part of Arkansas was hit with a cyber attack. It was part of a spate of intrusions into water systems that U.S. spy agencies believe is the work of Iranian regime hackers. The number of states affected has expanded to at least a dozen, with at least 30 systems affected in Minnesota alone. But instead of blaming Iran, President Trump has blamed the states themselves for the hacks. Asked by reporters about the attacks in late July, Trump criticized Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz instead.
You know who's behind it? Minnesota, because they're grossly incompetent. I think the governor's behind it. I don't think there was an Iranian cyber attack. I think that Minnesota ought to get its act together. It's one of the worst run states, JD will tell you.
U.S. intelligence agencies are confident that Iran is behind the campaign, but they have not made a formal attribution. That's partly because there's still some debate about which exact group carried out the attacks. And one person familiar with the matter said there may also be a reluctance to make an attribution that contradicts the president's public remarks. Number 5. As El Niño ramps up, it is reshaping weather across the world. Heat domes, temperature records, and deadly storms in different parts of the world can all be linked to an El Niño climate pattern. El Niño is a natural warming of ocean waters in the eastern and central equatorial Pacific that develops every 2 to 7 years. The latest weather updates from early August show ocean temperatures in the central Pacific continuing on a record trajectory. They're projected to hit an average peak of about 7.4 degrees Fahrenheit above average in December. That means the El Niño that developed this summer is on track to become the strongest ever recorded. An El Niño of this magnitude is expected to drive significant weather events. World temperatures will probably hit new heights, and across the globe, patterns of droughts, floods, heat, and humidity will shift. If you want to see how extreme things could get where you are, find our forecast tracker in today's 7 newsletter. You may be overlooking some common causes of brain fog. That's number 6. Brain fog is not an official diagnosis, but patients use the term to describe moments of forgetfulness or going through a whole day in a kind of haze. At its extremes, it can hinder the daily life of someone suffering from it. The symptom is generally associated with common conditions like depression, anxiety, low thyroid function, and even early dementia. But there are also some more surprising causes, according to Post columnist and physician Trisha Pasricha. One of them is inflammation in the gut, highlighting the close link between food and brain function. Another is sleep apnea, which can mess with attention. And it's estimated that 75% of women with sleep apnea remain undiagnosed. If you've been feeling brain fog, you can learn more about these and other causes at the link in today's 7 newsletter. Plus, Dr. Pasricha has tips for what you can do to help it. And at number 7, cool guys are embracing the magic of carrying a purse. It's the summer of purse guys, which sounds a lot better than when last week I declared the summer of Cyclospora. Anyway, male celebrities and sports stars have been spotted everywhere this summer toting fancy designer bags. For example, New York Knicks captain Jalen Brunson toted a Louis Vuitton pouch into Madison Square Garden in June before scoring 32 points in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And Norway's Erling Haaland was one of many World Cup stars to sport a purse this summer. He showed off his impressive collection of Hermès bags during World Cup travel. A handbag is undoubtedly a very useful object, but what message are these men sending with their feminine-coded bags? Post-fashion reporter Ashley Fetters-Malloy theorizes that it's not about bending gender rules. Instead, it is, as always, about using fashion to flaunt wealth. Nevertheless, the trend shows how what we consider rock-solid gender rules in clothing are actually always changing. All right, you're all caught up. I have some personal news to share. No, it's not that I have yet another cold from my toddler, although that's also true. This will be my last week hosting the 7 podcast for a little while. I'm not leaving, I'm just very pregnant and going on maternity leave next week. When I say a little while, I'm based in the UK, so lucky for me, I have what we can describe as a European amount of parental leave ahead of me. But you will be in very safe hands while I'm away. I'll share more about my replacement later this week. Thank you for listening, and for unwittingly being my companion through morning sickness, back pain, and the various other indignities of pregnancy. And send me all your best second baby tips. I'll need them. For now, I'm Hannah Jewell, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow.